Uh-huh. I'll just see if it pops in. Doo-doo-doo. Got my gallon of water. Oh. What's going on, y'all? Hit up in the comments or in the live chat, because I don't know what I'm talking about. Hello, Brendan. The video went well. Kind of wish it was louder live. On y'all, announce yourself, because I don't know. Ooh, I can look at stuff. There we go. But there's that little John of a video. Did the thing. Me and CJ are going to be doing some practicing. We're going to beat each other up with axes and swords at some point in time. Probably some longsword, because he likes longsword. But tomorrow night, I'll be doing a live stream with Ringo on his Twitch channel. Let me go ahead and type that up in the thingamabobber in the live chat, because that's actually a thing. Me and Ringo are going to be talking about fighting. We're going to be talking about tactics. And we'll probably go in and talk about the mindset for fighting. We're going to talk about the place that you have to put your brain to really like put steel on another person and take damage like that, and just go, I'm okay, I'm going to keep clubbing this dude. Yeah. Like, how do you keep your monkey brain on target to just keep swinging the axe and keep moving and keep fighting? So I think that'll be a fun little chat with Ringo. If anybody doesn't know Trash Night Ringo, he was one of the finalists in Knife Fight. He's a little guy around a whole bunch of big dudes. And he's like a pit bull. He's one of the best tacticians that I know in the sport. He watches a lot of film like I do, and just kicks ass. And he's also got a pretty good feel of the pulse of the sport. Fuck. Okay. What's going on? Night Fight was fun. It was a good time. What's going on? How you doing, Josh? How's Knoxville? Hellish per the norm figure. So I am now retrieving a link because I'm intent. But doing a live stream with Ringo. We're gonna talk about all kinds of junk. And we'll probably have a ridiculous conversation about silly things at some point in time. Everything's cap locks. I got caps locks on all the time, apparently. Constant. So putting out more content on the channel. We're waiting on a couple of designs to come back, and we'll be looking at some new things to put around. It's a really long thing. I don't know why that is the way that is. So, well, that guy's a bit much, isn't he? Huh. So, what's going on, Josh? How you doing, bud? Ready to do some practicing? It'll be a good time. Okay. I don't know how to deal with that. I mean, now we've got everybody bouncing around. So how's the channel looking? How many more things do I need to burn down? Josh, you were talking to me on Facebook, right? We were talking about the guy in Knoxville in. I mean, yeah, Mickey the Merc. Me and him are gonna do some stuff together because he's got a really good eye for shit, and he like is a fun dude to hang out with. But he's definitely a guy to get with. He drives around on his motorcycle wearing his armor like a malcontent and everything like that. He's everything I'd love to be. Um, I don't like riding motorcycles. It's not enough things around me. Um, so my favorite weapon to fight with, two-handed axe. Um, it's just the most easy thing to run around with, and not a long one. Like it's not long. It's only 3.5 feet long. And it's good. It's a jack of all trades kind of thing that you can just kind of like use it as a lever, hit somebody real hard. You can punch somebody with it. You can use it as range control. You can keep people busy with it. I think the shorter axes are doing really well. I could walk out with a 5 foot long axe and like make people hate me. But they just get heavier and heavier, and it's like, okay, how slow do I have to really be to give them all the chance in the world to block this? Like, it's going to take forever to move this axe. So, how did you feel of life feel if to the death gladiatorial fights were brought back and on live television? Like, you could win millions of dollars, but you could also die. I mean, I'm about it. I'd probably do one or two, get some funny and shit. Okay, this guy's a piece of trash. But whatever. Ooh, look, I can do this thing. I have an idea. Sorry, I'm doing technical things like an idiot. There you go. So that if they were to be brought back, I mean that'd be like cool. Gladiatorial style combat would be really interesting. That would be. I'd watch it. I mean, shit. We all know we love watching people like try and kill each other. Like that's not going away. It's human nature, and it's. I kind of like watching it one where I know like neither one of them are gonna die because I have like new age sensibilities. Not really, but I don't see needless death for the sake of it. But at the same time, entertainment. It's MMA, cockfighting. I get it. I love mixed martial arts. It's definitely fun. Um, it'd be funny though. My least favorite weapon. Um, I'm not a big fan of falchions, but I like falchions. Maces are good sidearms. Like they're a good thing to like throw in your belt and then pull it out while you're like you lost your weapon. And you're like, I don't have to run to the side. I have a fucking mace. Or you just grab your belt and you're holding the belt, punching the other guy in the face. Perfectly viable. People, marshals looked at me like, you can't keep hitting him. Sit down. I'm like, I have a weapon, and they're like, oh, he does have a weapon. This guy. Trying to break my. It's very much agreed. Like even without a weapon or like a non-effective weapon, I'm gonna clobber somebody to high hell with my goddamn fist. It's like I'm gonna hit you. It doesn't matter what I'm hitting you with. I got an elbow. Elbows are real good. So Baltimore Hunters are going to be practicing here in the next week. We have to do the thing. Plus, we've all been working out like independently. We just need to come together and do some field stuff. So talking about tactics with Ringo and how to teach tactics would actually be a fun conversation with Ringo. Tomorrow night, 9:30, on his Twitch channel. I will figure out how to do a thing. I mean, I like big fight 10 on 10s. 10 on 10s is my favorite style of fight because it's hilarious. So I'd say 10 on 10s being a full bore. You can actually do tactics. You can do real like beatings on people, and you can move around. Um, definitely, definitely. We're always looking for more people. Um, give me 2 seconds. So let's. What are my thoughts on one-on-ones duels? I like them. They're fun. So it's a good litmus test to like see how far you can push yourself in like night fights and stuff like that, like where they're fighting. It's more of an MMA scoring round. I like longsword. Longsword's a good time. I like chopping stuff. Sword and buckler. I love sword and buckler. That's mainly what that's one on one. First to five hips up, and I'm like, I'm gonna hit this guy in the helmet a bunch. Uh, being a two chuck, being able to swing rattan, like it's not too far gone of it. Um, and I like being able to use actual blade work instead of just clubbing a man to death. Um, like actually being a swordsman and figuring out the best way to surgically strike a man repeatedly and make him go, I need to block that, and then throw something else that's just right in a slot. And he's like, I need to block that too. And I'm like, I'm going to hit you with all of these things. I love coaching longsword. Longsword coaching is probably the most fun thing ever. Because you just literally tell them, back off, push, swing, 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 swing. And you just scream at them. But that's not exactly how I coach. Like, there's a lot more to cornering than just. I might do a video on how to be a good corner. And that actually might be an okay video to do. So I just came back from camping with my immediate group of two chucks. Very small crew. We've all stayed away from like everything. Dealt with less than 10 people, and we camped outside on a mountainside, really far away from each other, and beat each other up with sticks, and then partied separate from one another. And it was an enjoyable time. I was able to get out in the woods and fucking sit around a fire and sit in a teepee and hang out and just enjoy the forest and enjoy nature for a hot minute. Plus, hanging out with all my buddies that I beat the crap out of. But I will tell you, gaps happen, and you can't block all of them. That's really red and really purple now. There's that one too. So, thank you, Josh. I try to be okay at longsword. Oh, Jesus. What are the best and hardest fights you've had? I mean, Night Fight was probably like the fight in Brandon. Putting that together, I'm gonna sit down and talk with him. We're gonna do a little chit chat about things. We can talk about just about anything. Me and him are both like students of the sword, so we both research sword technique and work on shit and everything else like that. Night Dog. So the hardest fight I've had was probably Poland 16 on 16s. No, fuck that. It just sticks in my head like that. Hardest fights probably Britain 21 on 21 bought in 2015. That was a slog. And we were fighting in a bar room sized list with 42 dudes beating the ever living crap out of one another. It's on YouTube. Look up BOTN, Botten, 2015, 21, 21. You'll find USA versus UK. And you'll see my just back fisting a British man in the face. I thought I broke his helmet and killed him. Working on my gear, modern layers first. I'm going to look at the motorcycle pads or jackets. What are your thoughts on the modern layer? What can you suggest? You want to keep your modern layer actually fairly spatial and not nearly as. You don't want to be completely covered in fucking Under Armour. I think that holds in too much heat. Wearing a gambeson is also a lot of heat. Wearing armor on top of that's a lot of heat. Modern layer is knee braces, a padded combat short system, and I might wear a combat shirt which has got the foam on the shoulders. I really only wear that because I like having my suspenders from my leg rig go over my shoulders, and it kind of picks it up a little bit and takes a little bit of that fight out. But I keep my modern layer pretty simple, and I try not to like make it all encompassing because you don't really want that. That's 2016 bot, and is that what about the 2015 one though? Maybe I'm wrong, but I do believe it was 2015. I was there. Oops, something went wrong. Yeah, looking for 20. You're looking for 2015. Got it. So motorcycle pads or jackets, I wouldn't put on a second jacket. You have a gambeson going over top of it. Don't worry about that. Look at combat shorts. They're foam jib jabs that have actually 2 seconds. I have props. Props. So these are, what is this? These things. They're combat shorts. That's all I put down. This is Core something or other. Allison Athletic Performance Football Apparel. It's like a football girl, but doesn't go all the way up. For those. Primarily because it's historic or other reasons. My size is definitely an advantage. Leverage is a motherfucker. So that's kind of where I'm at. Worst impact-based injury you've received. Impact-based. My side got split open. Like I've got a divot in my love handle. Cat hit me with some edge of an axe or a buckler or something like that. He hit me right on so here's your hip bone. His thing hit the hip bone and then rolled off. So it just split it open and didn't break my bone or anything like that. So size. So that's probably the worst one, having my side split open. I mean, I had my shoulder dislocated during bot, and I literally took 2 guys down to the ground and had them fall directly on me in a line, so they put my shoulder back in. So that's the worst damage I've taken from a swung thing or things hitting me. So adrenaline is great. You feel like a space marine. You're 8 feet tall and you're a murder machine. At least I do. So I'm also really tall and easy to pull to the ground because people like pull me to the ground. Do I like Armor Combat League because it's historic or other reasons? I like the historic aspect. I do like the fact that we are fighting with armor and swords and stuff like that, but that's primarily it. The I started in Dagger here, which is foam fighting, not LARPy, but it's full force, but it's foam. And then going into the Two Chucks and Rattan, that's just stepped up the game. And then I found steel fighting. I'm like, hey, steel's brutal. It's got a different level of brutality than Rattan does. I'm gonna go do steel too. I do all 3 of them. Hitting being able to hit a guy, slam my fist into his face, slam an axe into his kidneys repeatedly. Combat, it's a thing. So there are a lot of big dudes, but there's also a lot of smaller, normal-sized people in the league. Don't think that you have to be a monster to do this kind of crap. If you've got good feet, you're just as dangerous as I am, if not more. If I can't catch you, I can't catch you. That's a thing. So, um, do do da da. Definitely, most teams have like pieces of a loaner suit they can put you in. Like they can piece together something real quick and just like slap and give you a couple of beats just to let you get the idea of it. But definitely go out and try on a suit of armor before you commit to like getting most anything. Put on a suit of armor, put on a helmet, get punched. Like that's like the toppest like notch thing I can tell you is go get punched. It'll tell you a lot about yourself and how you feel about being punched in the face repeatedly by much like meaner people usually. Um, so there's also lots of armorers out there that work with you on a payment plan. They also have good starter kits, um, and you can find stuff for pretty reasonable prices. The armor market is always fluctuating in its pricing, but there's pretty much standard, and things are kind of getting a little bit cheaper here and now, just because a lot of armorers have figured out a way to make more, spend less time. Like the margins have gone down a little bit more on some people, so I think it's very doable on a budget. Not too much of a budget though. Yeah. Do non-blunted combat. Yeah, that's going really. Dude, you have no idea how much I want to go fight somebody with a saber and get a cool face scar, but that's like really a bad idea. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do it. So, um, that's my idea on like steel and like sharpened steel. It's like don't do it. There's so many other ways you can die in this fucking world. Like I get it, I understand it. There's no doubt in my mind that there's a little corner that says die in your armor. But at the same time, I'm like, what if we make it past like wearing armor days? We just gonna put it on when we're on their death store? Fuck yeah, I am. It's a great idea. um, so yeah, Cincinnati was having some stuff up there, weren't they? Um, I actually kind of want to make it up to Ohio because I know there's a couple teams working around and doing stuff. So just for a broke new person who wants to get into it, there are several starter kits. I think Galveski does one. Medieval Extreme does one. Iron Crab Ironworks does one that they have fine tuned much better. Dude, since it's going to Mead Mayhem, dope. So yeah, the loader kits usually run between 1250, 1500. Helmet's another 600, 700. And sometimes they sell you something for 25 and you get the whole suit. It's a perfectly reasonable thing, and $2,500 is like you can do it. And like if you just like buckled down and did the thing, do the thing. And that's like that kind of is putting your dedication forward. For someone that wants to start, I would suggest that's hilarious, Brent. Actually, more so, if anybody wants to help contribute to anything going on in the channel, I'm actually planning on going out to Oregon in January for a major bowhurt training thing with a bunch of MMA fighters and everything else like that. I'm going to take some videos, do some interviews out there, talking with some different guys of different disciplines and seeing how they feel about the fighting world, and how they feel about steel fighting, this insanity. So that's night fight. What about night fight? We're not doing night fight. I'm going to a like clinic. Um, so who made the helmet that I wear? Ilya. He was on Man at Arms. He's on a thing called That Works. A little crazy Russian guy. He's fun. He's crazy. Yeah, Sharp's not a good plan. Since he's coming to Mean Mayhem is happening December 12th in the Northern Virginia area. I got to try and remember where it is. So Prize money, yeah. There's only a few tournaments that happen. Like most of the most of the WMFC stuff is they've got prizes, but like most other things aren't really like giving out prizes for stuff. Like it's mostly private events. It's not really a whole lot. Like if you want to go and do parties and junk, but if your buddy just wants to do duels, like for prize money, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Have fun. Like if that were a thing, I would be going and doing it. So okay, let's keep going down. Holy shit! Oh yeah, I was on Man at Arms. I forgot. Really, like early on, I picked up a really big club and I smashed it, and it was great. You'd be able to tell who it is. Thank you, Brendan. Brendan Sullivan's. He's helped me out with all this stuff. He is my go-to teammate, and I thank him greatly for doing all that he does, keeping me somewhere in a lane of the highway. Like there's an 8-lane highway in front of me, and I'm just like, hey, let's go over here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Flipping people off the whole time. So yes, I know about Mordhau. I have a Steam account. I have no idea how to play Mordhau. I have no idea how to game on a computer and figure out how to play the Mordhaus. I did do the Shovel Knight episode too. So have you tried out a game called Mordhau? Yes, I've seen Mordhau. I have not tried it yet. What weapon takes the most skill to you? I mean, it depends on which weapon you're really talking about. I think skill is a long polearm. A long polearm in a melee takes skill to use. Just because you have to be able to recover, be able to fight with it, be able to grapple with it, because people are going to grab you no matter what. In a singles fight, I think longsword is the most violent and most guttural, and it is hard to maintain. It's hard to maintain a plan and keep the plan going to plan while fighting off of your gut. You don't have a lot of defense, so it's mainly twitch reflex stuff. So you're trying to like block, hit him, block, hit him. Oh wait, I have to move around. Shit, I can't just stand here and let him wail at me. So I'd say longsword, maybe sword and board, just because you have to shoot, you have to like get around a shield. But there's better ways to do that too. So yeah, not a whole hell of a lot of money. If you like Spain, it's a good sport. It's a thing. You have to be a part. You have to. If you want to go and fight at a league's event, you have to be like a member, or like they're doing a guest thing. You have to sign a waiver and pay an entrance fee. If you guys just start your own fucking team, or you could just like not be a part of any of the melee stuff and just do dual stuff and just be like a lone wolf because you want to be a lone wolf. Good for you. So boo badoo doing his thing. Okay, give me a second. Okay. Launch duels require a strong mental game. Yeah, you can fight at 5'6". Height disadvantage, run around quicker. Get out of grapples. Get really good at hacking people on the knees, man. Like that's what it is. Do I know anyone that specializes in helmets for future reference? Specializes is a strong word. Like there are helmet sellers out there if you're looking for a custom helmet or something of the like. Kyle Harris, but he's booked out for the next year. Like he's gonna be booked up for a I tried hitting him up about getting just like seeing what his grades were like, and I kind of want to look at his work a little bit more. So let me do some research, Gunner. I'll figure that out. I'll see you at practice when we like do that. Miles Steel Armor, Adequate Protection. Hey, we just did a video about that. You should go back through and watch part 2 of the video where we actually talk about all the steels that we did, that we used in the sport. Mild steel is not adequate for body protection. It has to be really thick for your head, though. You can wear a helmet, just make sure it's really fucking thick. Did I watch any of the ACS Nationals? Oh, hell yeah, I did. I watched ACW and ACS. And level of fighting, I mean, you're looking at good stuff both ways around. Good on Texas. I can't wait. I can't wait to fight with Colin and Craig. It'll be fun. Sorry, I keep stretching a lot. I sword fought and I'm sitting. So, got to keep everything limbered up. So, hey, look at that. Yeah, by the way, there's a link tree. I don't know if I'm supposed to put this in a description or some crap like that. But there's a link tree for all my different links and all the goofy crap you can find me doing across the I don't know, what do you want? I want to know. What do I want to know from fans? I want to know, like, what do you want to know? I want to know, like, random things. Like, what do you think would be a good video? Because I can't exactly explain everything out, like doing, like, live streams and crap like that. So, like, you guys are a part of the channel. Like, your ideas become videos. I've had multiple questions come across my Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, that I've then made into videos and gone, here's your answer. It would have taken me forever to do this, or I discuss it with them, figure out what I'm going to talk about in the video, and then do the video. That's the natural progression of just figuring crap out. So, put a smarter video. Fastest hitting and fastest moving guy in the group cause. It was 5'6", 112 pounds. Yeah. If you're small, quick, and you can get a guy, get a guy. That's the game plan. I really just want help getting into the sport. That's why I'm making the channel. Like, that's legitimately, like, questions. How do I get into it? How do we do this thing? Where do I find the thing? I know the people to ask the questions if I don't know the knowledge myself. So I ask everybody. I've asked the people that, like, know better, and I'm like, okay, you tell me the proper information. I'll put it out to people. So that's why I'm doing this whole thing. But we did a sort of samurai foam sword fighting kind of style. Now I'm trying to remember what it is in Florida. Corn Killfang, you live in Florida? Watts? Was that what it was? Real world armor that would get you hurt in the sport. Like fucking body armor and shit? Like, real world armor. Or like historical representations and stuff. See event reviews as well as the fight breakdowns. Yes, I'm working on that. Like, I'm working on the coach's eye so I can do stuff. I have to try and keep up faster. Making sword versus axe video, good idea. Is there any particular coach you're drawn to for your kit? You seem to use a lot of Russian armor. I'm like, my helmet. I asked Ilya to make me a dope helmet. He made me a dope helmet. It was Russian. Done. And it's I bought Russian armor on board. Probably going to German for more, like, useful stuff, but I'll still have the Russian kit for doing stuff. I'm into the armor and weapons. I like the armor and weapons. It's just, like, I like fighting a lot more too. Murder stroke legal in most places, not really. Don't murder stroke because those quillions are too small. They're not striking surfaces. The pommel's good. You can pommel them, like you can just get pommel them, but don't pick it up like a pickaxe because that's what it was designed to do. The Slav helmet. I asked Ilya to make me a dope helmet. He made a dope helmet. It's Skipjack helmet, 1380 Novgorod, and it's there. That's where it is. Hey, the sword. Oh, good old Watts. Personally, would never get into armor combat because after 6 years hitting the gym, really. Oh, come on, 140 pounds. That's big enough. You can be a little cannibal and murder people. And there's people in Houston. Don't. Yeah, there's a whole team in Houston. How much does my armor roughly weigh? Just an average weight of armor, between 50 and 80 pounds. Like, there's your range. That's like gamison, armor, helmet, gauntlets. Probably not weapons though. Um, Thank you. I'm probably gonna chop off half my beard. How much did they weigh? First fight probably against the enemy man. How do I not die? Get to the other side of the field. Or charge at me. Come get me. It's actually not the worst idea to come get me, because if you try to take take the initiative, you take the initiative. And you're probably gonna have help. There's probably gonna be 2 or 3 guys following you. There's probably gonna be like a dude coming to help you, or another dude and another guy helping you. What's the worst injury I've ever sustained from armored combat? I mean, I broke my nose about 1 billion times in that helmet because I didn't have the chin strap figured out right, so it didn't hold it. Like, it moved this way on my head, so it broke this little pop of my nose. Probably the worst thing was probably between my love handle getting split open or dislocating my shoulder. Dislocating my shoulder sucked, and then I went and fought the next round afterwards, and I was like, did it. I relocated in the same fight, so does it technically count as an injury? I don't think so, but sure. To see me train. Be interesting to see what you work on to perfect your techniques and training tips. Okay. I will do a Pell video, and I will tell things about what I do, or I'll put them on a Patreon. I keep thinking about that. But otherwise, I'd have to actually like get materials to build a Pell and everything, which means money, so I have to figure out things. So God, Brian, you're so fucking quick with this shit. Jesus, like, oh. So okay, I'm gonna circle back here real quick. Tomorrow night, 9:30 on Ringo's Twitch channel, I will figure out how to post that. I'm gonna be talking with I'll be doing a live stream with him tomorrow night, talking about fighting techniques, talking about the mental game that we kind of play with ourselves and like put ourselves through in every fight, and how to progress past a plateau or to keep yourself in the fight enough where you're a fighter, you're a warrior, but you're also able to make decisions, kind of thing. You don't want to lose your head in a fight, and that happens just because helmet horrors happen. It's the thing to help you fight through that and not be so stressed out about being in a helmet and not having enough air and like CO2 death. You're not going to die, I promise. So in the last episode of Night Fight with me and Cumby, I got hit with a stinger, which basically goes across here, and where he hit me in my plate. My plate then drove into a nerve cluster in my back shoulder. My left arm went dead. It was poopsies. So, poopsies and goopsies. Me and Cumby were ready to strap back in and do the thing. Like, Cumby's like, I'll do it. Just tape me up real good. We'll go. And I'm like, okay, we'll do it. I'm fine. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to stand there with you, or do you want me to go and like try and draw them off? He's like, it's a good question. I'm like, you're a military man, you know, you understand. And then the producers came over and were like, hey, they're telling us that you really should do this. And I'm like, okay, but we're going to do it. And they're like, so yeah, they had to yell at us. But happens. What's going on, Kyle? What is this? I don't know what's happening anymore. Do videos like Shadowversary or Skyrim? I'm bad at being creative. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing either. Do you like I just throw my skull against the wall? Which will answer this little question down here that's hilarious. Me and Bam Bam were on different teams, so it would have been me and Cumby fighting in the final if it had come down to that. So, by any chance, are you multilingual? I saw that Armored Combat has several tournaments in Europe, and I was wondering if you picked up any other languages native or where you were competing. I learned a bunch of Polish. I learned enough Danish to order food and do stuff. I did not retain that because I only used it for a week. I know a bit of Spanish. I know a bit of I know kitchen Spanish. I know a bunch of random phrases in other languages. I'm being yelled at. I should learn Russian because Russia. But I do not have the ability to maintain a conversation in any other language. I just my brain's only got so much room for information, and I've filled it up with random Warhammer rules, Flames of War rules, Magic rules, Mordheim rules, Gorka Morka rules. So a lot of Games Workshop products has taken up a lot of real estate in my mind, and then armor, and then metallurgy, and then armoring, and then fighting, and then weapons. I gotta catalog that crap. The Rolodex is just spinning at about 1,000,000 miles an hour. That's actually what's powering my body, and the electricity going through is the spinning of my Rolodex, creating enough static electricity in my brain to just keep the body going. So no, I do not know the phrase for that, though. It would be hilarious if I knew, and then hear them say it. I would giggle, but then I would be like, "Hey, that's a problem. Guys, we're doing a thing. Don't do that thing. Don't sharpen your swords, please don't." Someone said you were thinking about coming to Cincinnati. There's a thought process. I want to actually go around and teach some classes about tactics and field control and just general fighting techniques. I have a lot of sword experience. I have a lot of blade work experience for doing competitions and being better, putting yourself in a better duelist state of mind. I'm pretty good at coaching duelists and doing a couple of duels myself. I want to do a couple of classes. I know about some teams up to Cincinnati. I want to drag the Huns up to Cincinnati to go beat on them because I like dragging the Huns. But the thing that I'm actually that'll be a little bit further down. But right now, January, I'm trying to go to Oregon to go to a major Bohurt clinic with a lot of MMA fighters and a couple of other judo guys. I really want to talk to some judo guys and talk about standing leg trips and stuff like that. How we can use our leverage to put people on the floor, kind of thing. Bam Bam punch people real good. I punch people real good too. Every time he's hit me, I've just kind of gone, okay, you punched me. Good job, Bam Bam. It's not really debilitating. So, just as it is. He punched good. Is it smart to get in the sport with the mentality thinking you're just going to beat the crap out of everyone you fight? Confidence is good. Don't get cocky because that's how you just end up on the floor. But having that confidence, even if you get knocked out, you're doing trash. You get trounced by the first 20 fights you do, because that's going to happen. If you maintain the confidence that you're just going to go out and beat the crap out of somebody, that's fine. That'll get you further because you won't get discouraged, you won't slow down, you won't stop. So if you keep pushing forward and having that, I'm going to beat the crap out of somebody, if that's in your brain, that allows you to generate more drive. And it doesn't have to be a mean, angry thing. That's the ravenous, like Tasmanian devil, like I'm gonna kill things kind of thing. Let me go get this guy. I'm gonna go get this guy. We don't get to do that in life, so fuck it. There's a place where it's completely allowed, and it's like thumbs up every time. Like it's gonna be like that. He's gonna lose a lot. By the way, like sword fighting's hard to get into. What are my thoughts on the SCA? Fuck them. I have friends in the SCA, but fuck them. Fuck the SCA. I'm a two-chuck. Ooh, Spirit Courage Honor. Fuck it. Pittsburgh needs to pick things up. It's a good midpoint for a lot of teams in Cincy and Detroit. Us, Philly, definitely. I think that Pittsburgh really should make a push to make a team. I think they would actually have a lot more fun. Any of the gothic stuff. I didn't use any gothic stuff in Night Fight. I didn't keep any of that stuff. We used the gothic, different gothic. Okay, the goths, the Visigoths. No, I didn't keep any of that. I got myself a better Caribou hide. Fuck 'em. So. Are there any matches, events coming up in the U.S. where one can attend, and where do we find that event information? I've had a hard time finding that. L. Hughes, it kind of depends on where you're at. The national events just happened. I don't know if they really had spectators. I know that we're doing Meat and Mayhem in Northern Virginia. Josh in the chat will actually know more about that because it's his event. I can't remember the town it's in, but it's December 12th. We're going to have 8 teams there for melees. So you're able to have a good day, watch some fighting, hang out, do the thing. That's the closest one that I know about is December 12th. There is a thing happening in Myrtle Beach. Maybe that was this weekend. I can't remember. So I didn't keep any of the Gothic stuff or the Visigoth stuff. Steak and cake premieres are definitely about it. How did everybody feel about that video? Like, I know it was kind of quiet, but I think I was trying to put out some information about like here's what it looks here's what it looks like from an armorer's perspective, and going to him and like here's what an armorer wants to know, kind of thing. William Shoemaker, I'm glad that I can help. I'm glad that I can put it out. So, Swagavale, like, yeah, we're a fun group of dudes. Definitely a bad guy though. Here to help. I have never jousted, and I don't like. I don't mind riding a horse, but I do not like the idea of running on a horse with steel armor on, with a giant stabby bit, and another man is a stabby bit. It's not my plan. I'd rather be on my feet and just smashing people. That's dangerous enough for me. 14th, 15th from Myrtle Beach. Got it. Of this month, I think. Dude, if you live in Virginia, definitely go to Meat and Mayhem. Meat and Mayhem is gonna be crazy. That's December 12th for Meat and Mayhem. Yeah, I mean that guy. He talked a lot of game, and he actually has some pretty good skills boxing, though. So I can't really argue with it. Yeah, Virginia's got a great following. There's Maryland. There's the Maryland teams right above them, and then there's Tidewater right down the way. So, there's a lot of people in the area swinging swords at people. So, oh, no worries, Ryan Gump. Like 5160 is just not a common thing because it's not easily bought, and not a lot of people are just working in it. So, Um, ooh, do, do. There's also people in South Carolina and North Carolina. Durham's got a hunt. Durham's got a fight. So, on the snort old beta prep for battles. No, that would be hilarious though. I would giggle. Um, it would be. I Yeah, sure. I might paint an old bay can on a shield just for Huns fights. It'll be hilarious. Um, Dueling to first blood. I mean, doing sword tag. I don't think like if you're doing it with steel swords, why? Go to a timed thing, which actually takes whoever swings first usually like has it or takes the most initiative. And a one hit sword fight. So realistically, that leans too much. If you're going for a full 30 seconds, 45 seconds, minute, 2 minutes, that shows more skill and the ability to pace. It shows a little bit a better, more rounded warrior, more rounded fighter, um, as for timed rounds. So, um, yeah, I've fought against several people that fought in full steel plate. I've fought against people in samurai armor. It's out there. They made it out of steel too. Um, my favorite animal. It's a solid question. I like bears, but I like hawks too. Like hawks are probably like in there. Um, just keen eye. It's a thing. Death from above. So yeah, Tidewater Dogs of War. Um, those guys are doing all kinds of stuff. And they're pushing and pushing. They've got a great facility down there too. I really want to go back to Callus's place and throw some steel around because I didn't take my armor down the first time. What weaponsmith do you recommend? Let's see. Weaponsmith, Medieval Extreme makes okay stuff. Check around. Most armors have some kind of weapon like allotment in them. Check out Age of Craft. Um, Cult of Athena is okay for like accents and stuff, but you have to grind down corners. You might be able to get a couple swords from them too, but you have to grind down stuff just because points usually aren't like to where we want them to be. Dude, if Tidewater wants to do a big training thing in late February or March, I'm about it. So going to Virginia wouldn't be the worst idea. But I'm definitely like pumped about going to Oregon. I really want to go. So, well, we're getting close. We're getting close to. How about the absolute fucking cheapest kit realistically possible? Realistically possible, you're still looking at $2,000, like 2,200. Let's make sure that you don't die. Two Chucks organization. Do you know who the fuck we are? Like, okay. Yeah, me. Like, we're around. Not a lot of them down here, but they're us. So, let's see. The key muscle someone needs to train since I would assume chest, back, traps since those are striking points. Chest, core, your thighs, your calves. Like that is what you want. You want to like build the tree trunk to shoulder the weight. Obviously, you want shoulder and arm strength for swinging stuff, but that usually comes from the pel work and actually swinging the weapon. So you can go, I'm swinging harder. I can swing harder, and I'm swinging harder, and then you're actually swinging. You are actually perfecting form to make the swing that much harder. Efficiency of movement, and just hitting with crisp form and just chopping away at somebody. It's efficient you're doing it pretty, it's nice. So pel work is the biggest things you want to build, like one of the bigger things you want to build. And your sprint cardio, you're going to do lots of suicides. It's going to suck. Do it. So what's my opinion on judo? All standing judo has a place. Like, there are different things from judo that you can take from it. I like doing toe kicks. I like catching stuff. Gashis and everything else like that, throwing people over. Once you have head control and then you get them to a balance point, you move your foot in one direction, they're on their ass. I think that's like the most valuable way to do that. Sometimes if you can do it just with a push and a toe trap or like a shin kick and you just put them on their ass, like that's the most efficient way. Like, don't let them hug you. If you can get away with that with somebody hugging you, you're winning. Don't let them grab a hold of you so they can take you down with you. So, see here. I want to thank everybody that came out for this live stream. I hope everybody checks out the new video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. We're doing the shield contest. We're going to be doing that. And then we will be doing shield giveaways December 12th, which is the same week as Meat and Mayhem. We'll do it at Meat and Mayhem at Blue Hilarious. So, and we have to determine what I'm paying on that because I'm making the shield currently. We have to determine what I'm putting on it. Rexy has some opinions, apparently. I was either that or I was going to do it when I got home. One of the two. So Rexy's on there. Okay, I'll give it a few more minutes. I'll answer these last couple questions. And then I'll like show a little bit and then we'll leave. Do you have a preference in a certain gauge of steel plates? Usually 18 for 4130 for body plates and stuff like that. Helmets, they need to be thicker. They need to be like 2.6 millimeters, some crap like that. 2 mil. Try out all the weapons you can. Find weapons that you like swinging with. Do the thing. Nasty strike I've ever seen in armored fighter do was strike someone in the back of the helmet with a stick of their two-handed axe right into the back of their brainstem. Like, bah. I've seen people get hit in the like bare kidneys, like their armor rolled up, they were bent over, and they started chopping them. Like, oh, terrible. That sucks. Where are some places you can do armored combat? There's teams all over the country. Look up the different organizations: Armored Combat Worldwide, Armored Combat Sports, AMCF, all kinds of stuff. Check and find your local team, find your local leader, make a push on them, try and find it. That's the best idea that I can give you. I'm coming out of the woods, so literally all of my face is full of soot. So I keep like pulling at my nose to try and like rip out hair for some reason. So yeah, choppy. But that's a part of the sport. Don't have armor that does that. I mean, that's really easy to not have. Making sure that you're all secured and situated and nothing can really roll up. You don't like your veterans will be there to help you go, hey, there's a gap. Hey, there's a gap. Hey, this gap's too much. This gap is okay. There are going to be gaps. Gaps are going to happen. You're going to just have to deal with that kind of thing. And remember, you can't block all of them. It's the fun part. So, okay. Tomorrow night, 9:30, Ringo's Twitch channel. We'll be doing a live stream at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking about fighting, talking about coaching, talking about the mental thought process for doing steel fighting, and making that push and how to push yourself past certain points in your steel fighting career when you feel like, I'm in the doldrums of it. No, you just need to level up a little bit, guy. That's all you have to do. Get good, as we like to call it. So tomorrow night, 9:30, Ringo's Twitch channel. It's in the chat. And I'll put up a post on the Facebook, Instagram, and the YouTube. I'll make a YouTube thing. So there's that. Brennan has put up a link tree several times in the live chat. Yes, Trash Night Ringo is Evan K. Ringo. But the link tree has all of the different links to everything for me. There's my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter, the YouTube, T-shirts, Venmo, all kinds of stuff. So keep a lookout. Keep an eye on the channel. We're gonna be putting out a lot more things. I've got a lot more things in the pipeline and in the works. I want to thank everybody for coming out and being involved in the chat. You guys are the reason why I do the thing. Keep kicking ass. I'll talk to y'all later. Get vicious. Get out.